I will, however, note that they made the hat black. Anybody else notice that? Or they race swapped the talking hat? Hey everybody, Blake T. Wild here, and welcome to the Comic Shtick Podcast, the podcast where comics are my shtick. As always, I am kind of talking about comic books on this podcast that I claim is all about comics, because comics are, again, my shtick. This week, we do have two pieces of actual comic-based news, as well as two pieces of comic adaptations news, and then a final piece of adaptation news. As you can tell from the title of this video, of this podcast episode, rather, I hate Harry Potter. But I will get to that later in the episode. I don't know how long this show is going to go for. Might be a short one. Although, again, every time I say that, I always start rolling on. And as always, this episode is brought to you by my Patreon and Etsy. Patreon.com/Smokey'sVideos and Etsy.com. Nope, that's not right. BlakeTWild.Etsy.com. There you go. Over on the Patreon, you get early access to videos when available, movie commentaries. I'm currently going through the MCU. I just watched The Avengers and Iron Man 3. And what else is on there? My own self-published comics, The Custodians Agents of Cross in particular, which I am still toiling away at to finish the final 3 issues as we speak, but you can get issues 1 through 3 on there in high-quality imagery, as well as my, commentary and behind-the-scenes information and stuff on each of those posts. So check it out, and also check out my Etsy shop, again, BlakeTWild.Etsy.com, where if you want to pick up the physical copies of the books, every purchase comes with a free head sketch of any character of your choice, fully colored as well. So this week was a shocking turn of events in terms of comic creator news, and that is because Sam Kieth, co-creator of The Sandman, if you didn't know, so he was the first artist to ever draw the character in the series, and creator of The Max. Unfortunately died at the age of 63. I had no idea he was sick. Something rather severe, if I remember correctly. I really should have taken note of it, but I didn't want to talk too much about it because Sam Kieth is really a character. Well, he's a creator that I'm familiar with. I've read some of the Max. I've read Sandman here on the channel. And I've also gotten into his, is it in Marvel Presents, or one of the Marvel, anthology series that they used to do, which they should really bring back, where he did Wolverine versus Venom for a little bit. That was a multi-issue story arc that Sam Kieth whipped up, and that was just insane. But he's never really a creator that I followed all too closely, or was a particular big fan of. Honestly, I do prefer his early Sandman to what the art on Sandman would later become. But that is very sad that he passed away under the circumstances that he did. It was a lot of medical issues, and it's a big loss to, comic creators around the world, big fans around the world, readers, and I believe he will live on as a prime example that you can be a comic creator and your art doesn't have to look like everybody else's. It doesn't have to be a house style. It doesn't have to look realistic. It doesn't have to look photo real or any of that hokum. You can do what you want. You can experiment. You can transcend storytelling and panel layouts if you want. And with that, Sam Kieth truly will never die. So moving on to the next bit of news, which I really can't discuss much about because I haven't watched the first season yet, and that is that Wonder Man has officially been renewed for season 2 on Disney+. Wonder Man was a show that I was hyping up like crazy in my private life I was telling everybody I could that Wonder Man was coming, how excited I was for it, and the fact that they needed to watch it. And I was so excited and happy to see Trevor Slattery and Yahya Abdul-Mateen coming into the MCU as Simon Williams. I thought he was fantastic in the trailers when they released. I was so overjoyed that Wonder Man was getting something cool finally in his life. And then I just never watched it. For no reason in particular other than I just never took the time to actually stop and just sit down and relax and watch the show. But I really need to, because I've only heard good things, and I've heard that it's like one of the best, if not the best, MCU shows that they have done. I don't know how it's going to beat Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I am looking forward to it whenever I do get around to watching it, and I am so fucking happy that it has a season 2, because he deserves a season 2, and that also means that this is going to be coming out after Secret Wars and, you know, the multiverse being reconstructed, so that'll be an interesting element. This will be a post-Secret Wars film. I really need to look up what the post-Secret Wars stuff's gonna be, because I can't quite remember. It's like Black Panther, Fantastic Four 2, maybe? Armor Wars is coming out before that. I still believe that Armor Wars is releasing next summer. There is a untitled release date for like July 28th or 27th or something like that, 2027. And I am putting my bid on it being Armor Wars, because they've already done so much work on it, and I get the feeling that they could just whip it up pretty quick, hopefully get some good CGI, and then shove it out the door and release it between the next two Avengers films. Doctor Strange 3 is coming, Wonder Man Season 2 is coming, is going to be showing us a wholly different... That's another aspect that I like about it, is that it shows us a wholly different perspective of a more, like, you know, man on the street kind of thing. It's, you know, like Daredevil does, like Luke Cage did, like Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist. But I am so excited. Let me know what your thoughts are on Wonder Man, and are you excited? Are you looking forward to Wonder Man Season 2? Was this just as big of a shock to you as it was to everybody else? I don't know, maybe I'll do a commentary track for Wonder Man Season 1 sometime soon, just so I can watch it, because again, I was very excited for it, and I still am excited to watch it. There's a part of me that like wants to hold back and not watch it just because it'll be over once I watch it, you know? I've done the same thing with this brilliant Netflix TV show called Kingdom. It is a historical drama set in feudal Korea, about the king who has married a younger woman, and the king dies, so her family starts taking over the kingdom, right? And the son of the king, who was like, you know, he was from the previous marriage, before his dad remarried, and has a hot stepmom now. He gets kicked out. He's disbanded from everything. He's thrown out of the kingdom, and he's working to get revenge and take over himself. In the meantime, there is also a zombie outbreak occurring. And it is one of the best, if not the best, zombie apocalypse shows I've ever watched. I fucking love it. I tell everybody that I know about it, much like Wonder Man. And I still haven't finished Season 2 because I don't want it to end. Alright, so heading into the next topic, also based within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is The Punisher. One Last Kill finally got its official poster. And it's just his face. It's his face. Just pushed in against the camera as close as possible. Very odd. It releases May 12th. As a special presentation on Disney Plus, just like Werewolf by Night. That's the only one they've done so far. This is the second one. Hopefully, apparently, maybe is the word I'm deciding upon here. I already forgot who it was. Nova. The Nova thing that might be happening could be a special presentation as well. I don't know if those rumors are still active and alive. Has been a while since anybody's spoken about the Nova being in the MCU. If he is, however, I bet he's going to be popping up in Secret Wars. Because I still believe that the Young Avengers are going to be in Secret Wars. And this is kind of the ending of my discussion of Punisher. One last kill, if you couldn't tell. Because I have never really been a fan of the MCU's take on the Punisher, specifically from his own TV shows. I think he was a lot better in Daredevil Season 2, and apparently he's in Born Again, I guess? That's another MCU show I haven't watched. Daredevil Born Again, Seasons 1 or 2, because I still haven't finished Daredevil Season 3 from the original series. I never watched it, and then I started watching it last year, and then I just kind of stopped for some reason. It's because I just don't take the time to, like, sit and actually watch these things, because I'm usually working on something on my main monitor, and like I'll have it on my second monitor, and then I'll get too enraptured and I'll stop working on whatever it is I'm working on over here, and so I just kind of put on other stuff. Like, I want to give these things my full attention and actually enjoy them, rather than just doing what I do with other stuff and just have it as background noise, essentially, or like, you know, stuff that I'm interested in, YouTube videos, neat things. But I don't know. That's just what happens. But I've never been a fan of the Punisher in the MCU. It's not a great version of the Punisher. There, I said it. Don't know if you can hear that. I think that's the recycling getting picked up. It sounds like two Transformers going at it. Still going. All right. I think he's moving on. The beauty of transformer nature. Yeah, I always thought that, one, Thomas Jane, and two, Ray Stevenson. Far better. Ray Stevenson, especially, is the best live-action adaptation of Frank Castle the Punisher. That, if you are unaware, is the Punisher Warzone version. The Punisher Warzone film, which is just absolute insanity. They did not give the director enough funding. They didn't really respect her either when they were making the film. So she kind of had to work with what she had to work with, which is so unfortunate because, again, Ray Stevenson is the best Punisher. He just gets the character. He is Frank Castle. I always think about the scene when I think about the MCU version compared to Ray Stevenson as Frank Castle, and it's this. In Punisher Warzone, he teams up with these two detectives who are trying to, you know, undo, like, they're going after Jigsaw, who's the villain, and the Jigsaw and his crime family. And, like, Jigsaw's, like, taking over territory and shit, so they're trying to solve that. And they wind up teaming up with the Punisher. Meanwhile, this woman gets, like, kidnapped or something, and she gets involved with it, so they gotta, like, well, fuck, we gotta go save her, too. And so they find where the gang's, like, hangout is, their headquarters. It's this giant warehouse somewhere, and there's a great scene of the two detectives standing on a dark city street watching the Punisher, like, pop open the trunk and fucking get out his rifle. He's racking it, he's putting magazines in his, like, in his vest and shit. He's getting ready. I think that this is also my favorite scene of this whole film. It is just perfect. And the facial expressions of everyone is perfect. So the lead detective is like, okay, what's the plan? What are we doing? And Frank goes, I'm going in there to get them. And just says nothing else. And the lead detective has a great reaction. He's like, wait, what? He's like, that's your plan? And Frank, without looking away from the building, he's, like, scanning it. He has his rifle in hands. He goes, that's all I need. And then he walks off and just murders them all and saves, and like he does what he set out to accomplish. That is who the Punisher is. The Punisher, I understand what they tried to do with the Netflix show the first 2 seasons, where they were like, well, we can't do this, we can't do like an adaptation of Punisher Max, which is really what they should have done. Instead they're like, we gotta make him empathetic. How can we make the audience like Frank Castle? And let's have him stop being Punisher within the first 15 minutes of the goddamn show. And once I saw that, I just stopped watching. I did not care because I didn't like it. That is not what the Punisher is. At least for me, that's not the Punisher. So I hope this leans more into Garth Ennis's idea of Punisher, because that's my idea of the Punisher. I love Garth Ennis's work on that character, both the mainstream version, where it just gets fucking insane, and I think that that's kind of what this Punisher special presentation is based on. I'm talking way more about it than I expected, but it's not good stuff. it's more me complaining. Because I think this involves the Magia, and seemingly it's the old woman Magia leader, who in the comics, if I remember correctly, is eaten alive by polar bears in a zoo, I think? Man, I gotta finish playing that fucking Spider-Man video game so I can move on and then start playing the Thomas Jane adaptation of the Punisher video game, which also, is it like a sequel to the Punisher movie? I can't remember, but it, adapts the Warren Ellis story arcs and shit. Those are my thoughts on the Punisher. What is it called? Punisher One Last Kill. We know it's not his last kill. He's not gonna stop. Not again. Especially because we saw him in Spider-Man Brand New Day. He's still doing stuff. Also, apparently he's currently in prison, so I guess this is gonna in some way show us how he breaks out of prison, which is where he was at by the end of Daredevil Born Again Season 1, and then maybe this will be where he gets... Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this shows us where he gets the battle van. He does, some A-Team stuff and tricks it out and shit. This is the origin of the battle van, assuming it hasn't shown up before. Unfortunately, he doesn't have Microchip anymore because they killed him off in this, first or second season of the original show. So, unless... Here's my idea. Bring back Wayne Knight, who played Microchip in the Punisher Warzone, and just cast him as Microchip 2. It's Microchip's cousin, who is also a hacker supreme or whatever. Who else does Frank Castle have as a supporting cast? His inner monologue, I guess? His journal? What are they going to introduce that's going to be so unique in Punisher One Last Kill? I guess just the van. But that also leads me to something that I wanted to get out, which is my Sadie Sink theory. Everybody is saying she's going to be Jean Grey, or she's going to be... Well, I don't know. It seems like the most people have said is Jean Grey. Initially, I was hoping that Kitty Pryde was going to be introduced into the MCU, maybe as a college student. Peter's trying to, go into community college. He meets Kitty Pryde. That's our introduction to mutants in the MCU. Why would they do that? That's a stupid idea, right? But I've been doing some reading, and I've been going through a bunch of comics from the 2000s for some videos that I'm doing. I think Sadie Sink might be Lila Miller. Now, Lila Miller is an interesting character that I do really like. I think she's neat. It's a crazy concept, just who she is. She was created specifically for the House of M event, where Scarlet Witch goes crazy after Avengers disassembled, and she rewrites reality so that mutants are the supreme dominant race. Magneto and his family kind of rule everything, and Lila Miller has these abilities that make her immune to the reality warping. So one day she just wakes up, and typically she's an orphan. Her parents are dead, they died in a car crash, but she wakes up and they're both alive, and she's living in like an apartment in Hell's Kitchen or something. And she's like, what is going on? So she sets out and finds like the heroes that she's aware of, because she's, a teenage girl who is a big fan of superheroes. So like, she tries to get in touch with who she can think of, and winds up running into all the characters. And then she's a big impactful role because again, she's the only one who remembers, aside from Wolverine, but that's a whole other thing. So they then get Emma Frost to read her mind, and Emma's memories come back in this new world. She remembers the past, what the world should be, and they use Lila as a way to make others like wake up from this new reality that they're all in. That is all to say, I believe that Sadie Sink is playing Lila Miller of some sort, because based on what I just said, and there are rumors and talks online that I recall seeing that she has also been cast to appear in either Doomsday or Secret Wars. I can't remember which, possibly both. So, I think she is going to, be the one person who, like, I guess remembers who Peter Parker is and Spider-Man and all that. And 2, I'm basing this off of concept art that may just never happen. But there was concept art leaked for Avengers Secret Wars that shows Battle World once Doctor Doom takes over and, combines what universes he can into existence into Battle World. And there's concept art that shows the Young Avengers hanging out. So, what if, like Marvel, what if Sadie Sink is Lila Miller, and she is the one person after Secret Wars who can remember what happened, or after Doomsday when the worlds end, she's the one person who remembers what happened. She starts waking up all of the Young Avengers. We get the Young Avengers in Avengers Secret Wars. You kind of adapt Children's Crusade, I guess, in a way, if you're bringing all them in to try and save the world, and then you just move on forward. Alternatively, she does play Jean Grey, and they just kind of give her Lila Miller's story arc. If that happens, I'm gonna lose my mind, because that was right. Alright, moving into more comic book-based news, and that is that Skybound, who is that? Robert Kirkman's imprint through Image or whatever, they have officially released previews for Steve Ditko's Spider-Man Artist Edition. And I am floored. I am so excited to get my grubby little hands on this giant book. It's 15 inches by 22 inches Artist Edition, which, if you're unaware, recreates its high resolution scans of the original sheets of artwork for comics. I love them. I have a handful of them. You're not gonna be able to see them because they're behind my chair. But what do I have? I have the Spawn Vault editions. I have the giant Kelly Jones Batman one. I have Frank Miller's Ronin, which is obnoxiously huge. Look at this fucking thing. This is massive. It's as big as my torso to my head. Maybe. It's so huge. This is actually I had never read Ronin before I bought this. So this tome was the first way that I experienced Ronin. It's Frank Miller's Ronin. This will make no sense if you're an audio-only listener, so check out the YouTube video to see what I'm talking about. But, now I gotta put this back. But I am just waiting for the pre-orders to open up for this, because I need this in my life. I adore Steve Ditko's art, and oh my god, it's gonna be incredible just to see these reproductions of his original pages. Oh my god, I'm so excited. It is releasing, when is it? No, it says in the article, arriving in comic shops on June 24th and bookstores July 21st, 2026. So I don't really know what that means for online retailers such as In-Stock Trades, which is probably where I'm going to be ending up buying it at. I don't know what that constitutes as. Is that a comic shop or is that technically a bookstore? What does it include? Includes the Amazing Fantasy 15, featuring Spider-Man's first appearance, along with 3 other complete issues. The Amazing Spider-Man number 20, number 26, and number 33. So it's going to be like over $100, probably $120 or so. which is about an average price for an artist edition. But, oh my god, this is going to be incredible. I hope this sells well and we are able to get more, assuming that they can find these pages. Like, how many of these pages still exist? How many of these pages still exist and exist in someone's ownership who will reveal that they own them? There's the story of Gil Kane, who would just come into the Marvel offices and, like, you know, go to the file room and hang out there for a while, like, later in the day near, like, the end of hours. And he would just leave with, like, 4 or 5 pages under his fucking arm. So, God only knows what happens to these original pieces of artwork that Marvel did not let the original artists have back, and instead were just putting away and letting be stolen for decades. Who knows if we'll ever see a, you know, this complete of a Spider-Man release, I guess, of, like, Steve Ditko's original artworks. It would be really cool as well if you did, like, his later stuff, like Mr. A Artist Edition. A graphic designer could have a hell of a time making a logo for that. That would be really cool, because there's a lot of trippy shit in those Mr. A books. And I just want more original art reproductions from Steve Ditko, really, is where I'm getting at here. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to get my hands on it. And I feel bad for the mailman who has to deliver it to my house. Now we get to the final segment of the show, the final topic of discussion, and that is the Harry Potter teaser trailer for the HBO show. It's HBO Max, for as long as it's named that, unless they fucking rename it to something else. And the, what is it called? Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I actually have a copy of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone right here. I don't remember why I got this. It was very recent. I ordered some stuff from Thrift Books. I don't remember selecting it as, like, a free inclusion, so maybe they just picked it randomly and sent it to me or something. I don't know. I'm not gonna read it, because I hate Harry Potter. It is a stupid series for babies and idiots. I've never read them. I never read the books. Don't give a shit about Joanne Rowling. That's right, I'm dead naming her. And I could not care less about Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone official teaser on HBO. But there's one thing that I do enjoy doing with Harry Potter, and that is making fun of it. So, I will say one good thing right off the bat. A couple good things. Child actors seem fine. I guess they look like the characters. I don't fucking know. They're a lot younger. Like, are they younger than the movie versions of these characters, or have children's gotten smaller? 2, I really dig the, like, visual aesthetic and the architectural design work of this version of Hogwarts, especially, like, the open hall with all the stairways. That looks really cool. It looks weirdly organic as well, which I dig. It looks really neat. I would like to see, you know, more of that rather than just the boring stonework of the films. And 3 is I am looking forward to hearing the music. Well, I'm not looking forward to hearing the music. I should reword that. I like the music that is featured in this. Very cool. I really like it. I don't know if I think it's original for this show. Maybe this is the new Harry Potter theme, I suppose. But I think it works very well. It's no Dune genocide chant, but it works pretty well. So I made some notes when I watched it. And I guess I'll just go down the list. 1. They made the bedroom under the stairs smaller, possibly because the child is much smaller than Daniel Radcliffe. I mean, maybe that's why. Like, in the first one, he had a little more space, right? Like, this one, it's just like a mat on the floor. This is way worse conditions that, like, some sort of protective services seriously needs to be called based on this version of Harry Potter. Because at least in the original one, like, you know, they still fed him and, like, gave him an actual bed, I think, and, like, it looked like a bedroom, just very compressed and tiny. This one, he's just sleeping on the floor. It's like a little, like, sleeping bag that's just there. I don't even think he has a light bulb. And like whatever her name is, with the fake tan, she's like openly threatening to kill him or something. I will say also, I never watched the Harry Potter films growing up. I never gave a rat's ass, a rat who turns into a man's ass, about Harry Potter as a franchise. And it's not because I was like raised in like a family where it was like, oh my god, you can't look at that. It's devil worship. It's evil magic. God would never want you to do this. How could God allow this to happen? No, I just thought it was stupid. I did like the second one, and obviously the third one's the best. I have watched them. For whatever reason, my wife and I rewatched all 8 of the movies like a couple months ago, and I had a terrible time. I definitely like the third one the most. I think everybody does. And then quickly followed by Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. And then I can't remember what the rest of my rankings are for the films. But the time before that, the only other time that I actually watched all the films fully was like almost 15 years ago, probably. I watched all of them in order, but I had to pirate them, and it was also around the time that like the later films weren't released fully yet. So I was watching the movies from like Chinese cam rips with the burnt in like Chinese like subtitles of the movies, poorly filmed at an angle. And for close to a decade, that was really the only way I had ever watched Harry Potter, the last like handful of movies, was through Chinese cam rips. So I'm not a fan. I also had to attend a Harry Potter re-release when a local theater did that a couple years ago. My wife wanted to go see it because she does like the movies. She likes the story and all that. So we went to go see that, and I had a god-awful time. I've brought this up multiple times on the podcast. That's how much it haunts me. But it was terrible. It truly was an excruciating set of circumstances. Because, one, the theater was packed, which I don't mind, but it's not my favorite. It's why I try to go to the movies as early in the day as possible. 2, full of people who stunk. They all smelled. Harry Potter doesn't have some kind of expectro body odorous spell that will just conjure up a stick of fucking deodorant that you can put on. Christ, was it awful. 3, people throughout the crowd were saying lines from the film verbatim as they were happening. And I was losing it. Because when I go to a theater, I don't want anybody making noise. Unless it's to gasp or laugh or just, like, bodily noises that are reactions to what's happening on screen in a way that is not verbiage. Anything other than, like, a laugh or a gasp or crying, it's ticking me off. Babies excluded. Do not bring a baby to a movie theater. I will yell at you. So those are my experiences with Harry Potter. I don't give a shit that they changed the race, that they made Hermione light skin. She looks a lot like, what is her name? Emma Watson, I think. Especially during, like, the crowd scene where, like, she and Ron are clapping for Quidditch. I don't know why. I think she just really looks like Emma Watson in that scene. I think it's the hat and the... Also, this is big hair Hermione. That's something I discovered watching the films again, is big hair Hermione is peak Hermione. I wish they would have kept her with big hair. And I hope, as God willing, this show progresses past, like, the second season, I hope to God. And whatever... Do wizards believe in God? Is there a religion, like, for wizards? Do they have a different, like, Jesus than the Muggles do? Is that ever brought up? Is religion in the Harry Potter world ever brought up outside of, like, Christianity? Was Jesus a wizard? What is going on there? But I hope to whoever's watching that They keep big hair Hermione. I want her to have a full-on, like, giant head of hair, like she's a fucking 80s glam rocker. Where was I going with this? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I was talking about how I don't care that they changed the race of the characters. I care more about Nick Frost being cast as Hagrid. I was about to say Humbledore. But I don't like that he's not doing a voice. He's just doing his regular voice. And it's weird seeing Nick Frost with the big bushy beard not doing a voice. I don't care that Snape is black with dreads. The funniest thing would be if they race swapped Kingsley Shacklebolt, the black guy who has the name Shackle in his last name. That would be funny. I will, however, note that they made the hat black. Anybody else notice that? Would they race swapped the talking hat? It's also a talking hat that looks far too new. I prefer the original talking hat. The talking hat that looks like it has been sitting in a closet for the past 160 years or whatever, and is just brought out every couple months when the new class of students comes in for the semester. Because this one looks weird. It's too new, first of all. Like I said, it doesn't look dilapidated. It barely has a face. It's weirdly tall, by the way. It goes boop straight up. It also has a, like, it's flat on the top. It's like a weird, wide-brimmed, skinny top hat. It's not pointed like a witch's hat, for whatever reason. It's just flat. It looks like, if you've ever seen concept art for the original Star Wars films, Ralph McQuarrie loved himself some tall, flat hats with wide brims, and it looks like this. Which also led me to ask the question, maybe some potheads in the audience can answer this for me. Is the hat sentient? Does it have a life when it's not on someone's head? Like, what does it do for the rest of the year? Does it hang out in someone's office? Does Dumbledore take care of it? Does it need food? Like, why does it talk? How does it talk? And then it comes back to, again, what does it do when it's not sorting children? Because I don't remember if it talks at all in the films when, like, before it touches someone's head. It seems like it touches someone's head and then it pops to life, right? So, like, is it the equivalent of plugging in a toaster? Is, like, the brainwaves what activates the hat? Because if not, it's kind of fucked up that you have this sentient hat that you just, I don't know, do you put it on a hat rack with the others? Does it talk to the other hats? Are there other talking hats? What is going on in the Harry Potter universe? I also remembered, right at the end, speaking of all this hat talk, is this the one where the guy wears the turban, right? Like, let me find the book. Let's see how long it takes me to find the guy's name. Oh, here's something about... Oh, no! Dumbledore is particularly famous for his defeat of the Dark Wizard Grindelwald in 1945! Holy shit! Dumbledore was fighting Grindelwald while Hitler killed himself? Famous... There's something about Neville. What is the... Quirrell! I found it! That was pretty easy. Come on, Hermione, Ron muttered desperately. Hermione had fought her way across to the stand where Snape stood and was now racing along the row behind him. She didn't even stop to say sorry as she knocked Professor Quirrell head first into the row in front. That's it. That's all he has to do in this scene. What is this scene? Is this the Quidditch thingy? This is... I didn't realize that there were pictures. There's little chapter pictures in these fucking books. Oh, hey, look, it's the troll. Troll in the dungeon, right? That's a thing that's set on Halloween? The troll thing happens on Halloween? I'm learning so much. Let's see if I can find Quirrell doing the troll in the dungeon thingy. Oh no, Ron said, pale as the bloody Baron. What does that mean? Is that a painting? What are you referencing? Oh, wait, I went way too far. Wow, that troll thing's taken care of quick. Jeez. Oh, here we go. Ah, I found it. Harry was just helping himself to a baked potato when Professor Quirrell came sprinting into the hall, his turban askew and terror on his face. Everyone stared as he reached Professor Dumbledore's chair, slumped against the table, and gasped, "Troll in the dungeon! Thought you ought to know." And then he faints. He then sank to the floor in a dead faint. There was an uproar. It took several purple firecrackers exploding from the end of Dumbledore's wand to bring silence. So Quirrell, what are they going to do? Who's cast as Quirrell? Have they announced that yet? Is it more offensive to cast him as like a Middle Eastern person? Because I looked it up when we were watching the movie. I was like, why the fuck does he wear the turban? He's like a upscale, like nerdy white dude. Apparently, he has only had Dumbledore on his head for a short time, which I never got watching the movies. Well, I did watch the first two a bit as a kid. I had like the play set, like the little miniature one, which I thought was neat. I like the monsters far more and like the creepier aspects. So I always like the weird Dumbledore, the weird Voldemort stuff really interests me. But I finally looked it up. I was like, oh, well, what is going on with Quirrell? How long has he had a head on the back of his head? A very recent addition to his body, apparently. He went on a sabbatical and traveled the world to fucking do whatever. And it's the equivalent of like your coworker going to Hawaii and then coming back with a bit of a tan, and he's like shaved his head to like a crew cut or something. He's wearing sandals and he's calling them slippers, and he's doing the shaka, and he's talking about how, well, he's not even talking about anything in particular about Hawaiian culture or history. That's pretty much the end of it. He also sometimes he wears a Hawaiian shirt and talks about how great Costco hot dogs are. But that is the equivalent of who Professor Quirrell is. He's not even in the trailer, though. So I don't know who is playing him, and I refuse to use my one Google per episode to look it up. Then this just gets into what are and what aren't they adapting. Because, again, here's the book. It is... I don't even know how many pages it is. It's a good-sized book, I guess. 309 pages. I would like to say I own 2 of these, technically. Because I bought the whole collection for my wife for Christmas one year, and she still hasn't read them all. But then I got this one, so now I have 2. And this one's all fucked up. This is a well-read book. I don't know if it's a library book or what. Oh yeah, it must have been. It is taped down. Oh, you want to know about the author? About the author, J.K. Rowling was a struggling single mother when she wrote the beginnings of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on scraps of paper at a local cafe, but her efforts soon paid off as she received an unprecedented award from the Scottish Arts Council, enabling her to finish the book. Since then, the debut novel has become an international... Miss Rowling lives in Edinburgh with her daughter. Who gives a shit? Fucking, what is her name? J.K. Rowling, you're a hack. I've hated J.K. Rowling before it was popular to hate J.K. Rowling. Before all the turf stuff, which I only learned the meaning of very recently, and everything else she's fucking doing, that terrible noir book she wrote a couple of years ago, I think I've proven that I am a certified J.K. Rowling hater. I'm sorry, a certified Joanne Rowling hater, because I refuse to call her by her new name. So this, yeah, what are they going to be adapting? What are they going to be adding? Because can you take a 500? I already forgot. Can you tell I've had a lot of caffeine today? 300. Yeah, 310-page book or so. Like, I guess they'll just add more, right? Because really, there's something about werewolves I just saw the word. I don't know what's not in the first movie that's in this. Probably a fair amount. Maybe they do some more stuff on Halloween. Maybe there's some stuff with Hagrid, Madam Hooch. Madam Hooch! Madam Hooch was refereeing? Who the fuck is that? Madam Hooch! Oh, God, I hate it. Thanks, Seamus, said Harry, watching Seamus pile ketchup on his sausages. Maybe this is just what an episode should be. Maybe, should I just go through all the Harry Potter books? And just shit-talk them? And, I don't know. Yeah, so what are they going to be adapting? Is where I'm trying to end this at. Are they not adapting Quifflehotch and Snaff bloopers? What about Gwinker twists? Are Gwinker twists not going to be in this? Or not in the show? Because they're in the book. Like, Will Gwinker twists be in this season, or are they going to be in the next season? Nafferdoppels. What about Nafferdoppels from Harry Potter 3? Is that going to show up? I don't know why it would. Seemingly that would be in the third season. But I just don't get it. They got the Nimbus 3000. But they can't have a Quagglehorch. Like, what the fuck? I hope that they have a Quagglehorch, because that's the main thing I'm looking forward to. Should I watch the Harry Potter movies again? And do like a commentaries for that, like I'm doing for the MCU films on my Patreon? Let me know in the comments. I think I have to end this because I feel like I'm losing my mind. Let me know if you want more stupid Harry Potter talk, because I got a lot of questions. And I will, see you next time. I guess this is the end. Let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Wonder Man Season 1 and Season 2? The Punisher, One Last Kill, my Sadie Sink Lila Miller theory, plus the Young Avengers stuff, Steve Ditko's Artist Edition, and of course, the Harry Potter TV show. Let me know in the comments below. Find all my links in the description if you want to check anything else out. And I will see y'all next week for another, I'm sure, riveting episode of the Comic Shtick Podcast. Bye!